And let's begin by getting you all the updates that are expected today in the Gyanvapi Mosque case. The one update everyone's going to be watching out for is what the Supreme Court has to say on this issue. That hearing will kick off again at 3 p.m. today. On Thursday, yesterday, the Apex Court stayed the hearing in the Varanasi court. The move came from the top court amid fears of the Muslim side that the Wazukhana, where a shivling was allegedly found, could be demolished following the order by the Varanasi court to seal the area. Two survey reports submitted in the Varanasi court mentioning an oval-shaped shivling structure in the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. Survey reports also reveal a conical structure under the mosque dome, 4 idols in crimson color, temple ruins and images of deities. The survey report submitted before the Varanasi court mentions a shivling of 2.5 feet in height. The report says that the depth of the shivling is 63 centimeters. The base circumference is 4 feet. The Allahabad High Court, meanwhile, will resume the hearing of this case, which was filed 31 years ago in 1991 in the District Court of Varanasi. The counsel appearing on behalf of the temple argued that the property in dispute was not a Waqf property and the provisions of the Waqf Act are not applicable here. Anisha Mathur is joining us live with more details on the story. So Anisha, just to break it down for our viewers, the Supreme Court is hearing this matter at 3 p.m. and what happens in the Supreme Court also will decide on whether the hearing in the Varanasi court, where the survey report was submitted, will continue today or not.
Yes, Akshita, it is going to be a very crucial hearing in the Supreme Court at 3 p.m. as both the Hindu side and the state of UP are expected to put their views across on the plea filed by the Muslim side seeking a stay on the entire proceedings going on in the Varanasi court. Remember, the Muslim side has claimed that if any proceedings are allowed to continue, the survey is allowed to continue, the court commissioner is allowed to continue, effectively the religious character of that entire place will be changed. Now, interestingly, in their reply, in their response to the Supreme Court in this particular matter, the Hindu side has filed a massive 278-page application saying that the claims of the Muslim side, they have refuted the claims of the Muslim side. In fact, they've gone on to talk about the history of the Adivisheshwar temple. They've gone on to cite Puranas and religious texts as well as medieval texts medieval administrative texts to show that this temple was in existence before Aurangzeb conquered the area and before Aurangzeb ordered the demolition of the temple and the construction of the mosque. And now what the Hindu side is also arguing is that this is not a mosque, it was simply a structure constructed on orders of Aurangzeb, because according to the Hindu side, a mosque cannot be created on land which is already a temple, that there has to be a Waqf dedication, that the land should have been formally dedicated for the mosque by the ruler at the time to be considered a mosque in the first place, and that was never done by Aurangzeb, and therefore, according to the Hindu side, there could never have been a claim for the mosque's existence. In addition, of course, they've also cited the survey of the area. They've said that there are evidences of the temples in existence, that the Sringar Gauri temple has been used by Hindus, that for the worship services at the Sringar Gauri temple have never stopped. They've also said that there are evidences of other deities, of other murtis, of other temples in that very premises, and that is why they have said that the plea filed by the Muslim side should be dismissed, and that the entire survey and the process of determining what was there should continue. In fact, that is the argument of the Hindu side. So we'll have to wait and see what the UP government says, what the Muslim side argue, and what the court finally decides today, or if they even issue a final decision today.
All right, so we'll track what happens in the courts. We're counting down to that hearing as well in the Supreme Court. Anisha, for the moment, thank you for joining us. Now, the reason all of these legal aspects of the case also take and assume significance is because yesterday you had the survey reports finally being submitted before the court. One is by the sacked surveyor, Ajay Mishra. The second is the official one by the court commissioner, which has been submitted to the Varanasi court. But both pretty much agree on one thing, that there are clear indications, there are Hindu motifs, there are inscriptions, there are idols, diyas, all of this has been found in the cellar of the Gyanvapi Mosque.
A shivling, lotus motif, damru, trishul, symbols associated with Lord Shiva and more signs of Sanatan culture. These are the big findings of the survey report submitted by court-appointed Special Advocate Commissioner Vishal Singh. The 10-page report has been submitted in the Varanasi court along with 3 boxes of evidence which include pictures and videos.
जो नक्शे हैं वो भी आप लोगों ने जी एकदम जितनी फोटोग्राफ्स थी और वीडियोग्राफी हुई है दौरान कमीशन कार्रवाई अंडर सील है वो हम लोगों ने सबमिट कर दिया है।
तो ये कितनी फोटोग्राफ्स होगी, किस तरह की फोटोग्राफ?
ये जानकारी नहीं है। जो फोटोग्राफ हुई है सारी चीजों की फोटोग्राफी कराई गई है, सब सबमिट कर दिया गया है।
A second survey report by sacked Commissioner Ajay Mishra is also now with the Varanasi court. It also mentions 4 Hindu idols, fragmented deity, debris of temple, walls inscribed with Hindu motifs and an image of the Sheshnag.
मुझे देखने से मतलब वही प्रतीत हुआ कि ये नाग का जो है ऊपर ही टूटा हुआ फन टाइप का था।
किस तरह के अवशेष खंडित हैं, वो क्या दिखा रहे हैं?
वो मंदिर के मतलब कुछ जो है ऐसा है कि टुकड़े हैं, मूर्तियां टाइप की हैं, जो है वो आपको देखने से लगेगा कि नहीं, हाँ ये किसी मंदिर का ही अवशेष है।
मंदिर का अवशेष लगता है
जी।
The survey findings, accessed exclusively by India Today, clearly suggests the presence of the temple at the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. The findings are being hailed by the Hindu side.
हमारी निश्चित रूप से मांग यही है कि वो शिवलिंग है, उस शिवलिंग की खुदाई कर और भी चीज़ों को हमारे ट्रस्ट को समर्पित कर दिया जाए, दे दिया जाए, ताकि हम उसका भोग राग पूजन भजन कीर्तन अर्चन ये कर सके।
देखिए, सर्वे तो माननीय न्यायालय ने आदेश दिया था, उस अनुसार जो है कि पक्ष विपक्ष दोनों लोग की सहमति से अच्छे से हुआ है और अच्छे से हुआ है। पूरा न्यायालय को सौंप दिया गया है। न्यायालय जो भी न्याय करेगा पूरा विश्वास है कि सत्य की जीत होगी।
But the legal battle is far from over. The Supreme Court will now hear the Gyanvapi case on Friday at 3 p.m. It has for now put a stay on the proceedings in the Varanasi court.
Proceedings before the Varanasi court are going on. I have told you that the application which we have filed, that the Muslim side will also take some time to file their objections to our application. Mr. Abhay Yadav had mentioned before the court that they need some time to file their objections. So after all these formalities and document work are complete, the matter will proceed further for hearing.
Today it so happened that the counsel for the plaintiff, Mr. Jain, was unwell. In the meanwhile, the proceedings which are going on should not continue. So this is being accepted by the court, and the court has directed that the proceedings so far till tomorrow is confirmed.
The heated courtroom battle over the Gyanvapi Mosque has left the locals divided.
इस रिपोर्ट में क्या निकला है, आपको क्या पता? अरे रिपोर्ट में हमारे भोलेनाथ निकले, नंदी बैल निकला, त्रिशूल निकला है, वहाँ प्रसारक चिन्ह निकला है, तालाब निकला है, सब कुछ है वहाँ। ठीक, तो जो भी कोर्ट का निर्णय होगा आपको मान्य होगा?
जी हाँ, मानेंगे, कोर्ट का निर्णय मानेंगे। और दूसरी बात, ये भाई कह रहे हैं कि यह शिवलिंग है, तो हंसने मजाक वाली बात है। वहाँ फुहारा था, फुहारा है, अब फुहारा ही रहेगा।
All eyes now on the court, on the interpretation of what the findings have been, especially about the shivling, the trishul, the damru, Sringar Gauri idol, and also some other idols of Sanatan Dharm, as the report insists. Now these reports, the videos and the photographs were submitted in at least 3 boxes to the court, and now all eyes on court.
So what happens next? The sensational survey findings are now with the Varanasi court. Will it impact the hearing in Supreme Court too? With Samad Srivastav and Gaurav in Varanasi and Anisha Mathur in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, I know a lot of our viewers have questions about exactly what kind of Hindu motifs have been found within the Gyanvapi Mosque and where this is within the mosque. Nabila Jamal breaks that down for you.
As the debate rages on what exactly was found inside the Gyanvapi Mosque by the survey committee, India Today has managed to find a 12-page report that extensively describes the kind of religious symbols that they've spotted inside the Gyanvapi Mosque complex. This is exactly the 3D image of that mosque complex. In fact, the Gyanvapi Mosque shares a wall with the Kashi Vishwanath temple complex, which is why you see that Hindu symbolism, that temple-like structure that very clearly shows that there could have been a temple there which may have been desecrated for a mosque to be built. That is the in fact the Shringar Gauri complex there, where we're looking at the survey findings saying that that western wall that's aligned right by the Gyanvapi Mosque at the back of the mosque, that western wall had large-scale Hindu symbols, all including the lotus, the damru, the trishul. You had symbols extensively signifying that this indeed was a temple at one point. This is what the survey finding says. It's now in court. The court needs to dissect that. And that particular area where you see the barricading, that's exactly where the Wazukhana was or is, where they claim to have spotted a shivling, a 2.5 feet shivling that they claim to have spotted, which the Supreme Court has now asked to protect. That's where you see the barricading right now to protect the shivling. And the most important part here is the shivling that the survey report claims to have found. The shivling that they say has been found right at the place where the Wazukhana is at the Gyanvapi Mosque. And this is the 3D image that we show you here, where we're looking at that Wazukhana, which has been fully barricaded after the Supreme Court asked to protect the shivling, but also at the same time not to impede upon the rights of Muslims to carry out their namaz. So this is that Wazukhana area where you see right in the center, the shivling has been spotted as per the survey findings. Now the distance between the Nandi, as it's visible, the distance between the Nandi and the shivling found is about 63 feet and 3 inches. This is what the survey finding has to say. And of course the circular cutwork design on top of the shivling, that's what the survey further says, that there is some kind of cutwork on top of that shivling which they're trying to establish what is. Now we're also looking at a less than half-inch deep hole right in the middle of the shivling. This is what the survey findings claim further. But on the other hand, you have the Muslim side debating that this is not a shivling, that this oval structure is merely a water fountain. The mosque management has also asked to, in fact, the management asked to operate that fountain, but at the same time, they were not really able to give out factual details on how long has this water fountain been functional, whether it was functional or not, that still remains a mystery. In fact, first the mosque management said the fountain was not functional for about 20 years. And then they went on to change their stance and said that the water fountain was not functional for 12 years. So there seems to be some discrepancy in the information that the mosque management has given. It seems like they lack that knowledge. The mosque management could not really eventually prove that that fountain was indeed operational or not. So on one hand you have the Hindu side saying that it is a shivling, but on the other you have the mosque side saying that this is a water fountain. Now remember, the survey went on to open up several locked doors of the Gyanvapi Mosque, which of course the mosque committee had opposed to. But post the Varanasi court's order, some of those doors were opened up. Even the cellar, the basement area, was ventured into. The survey committee has gone down to find, right at the cellar, several pan-shaped leaves, literally on the wall of that basement. That cellar had some kind of carvings that resembled pan-shaped leaves, which is again synonymous to Hindu religion in many ways. Also on that pillar were carvings of the lotus, of a bell, as well as the kalash. This is of course very important as the survey findings tries to establish that indeed there is extensive Sanatan Dharma symbolism within that Gyanvapi Mosque, and this cellar here is one proof that it seems like the survey wants to present before court. The court, of course, now is going to take up the matter for debate. It remains to be seen what's going to be decided post that.
Now, with details of the survey report coming to the fore, let's run you through all of the political reactions also that are coming in, because the opposition here has now come together to accuse the BJP of spreading a communal agenda. The All India Muslim Personal Law Board member Kamal Farooqi has sit out of the Saffron Party, saying that this won't end here. It won't end with Gyanvapi, and that all minority religious places will be targeted in the coming days. BJP earlier lashed out at Owaisi, accusing him of communalizing the Gyanvapi issue. BJP IT cell chief Amit Malviya branded Owaisi a bigot and a hypocrite for his Masjid The or Masjid Rahegi declaration. Samajwadi Party leader Mukhtar Ansari is also in the spotlight. In a massive claim, the Hindu side has alleged that the Gyanvapi Mosque Trust was funded by the SP leader.
All these issues which should not have been taken up, because there has been a guarantee by the parliament that after Babri Masjid, nothing else would be disturbed and the status quo would be maintained everywhere. But we have seen it, how the things are moving. So this is a very disturbing feature, not from the Muslim points of view alone. Rather, we are more concerned about the country, where are we heading, and what would be the image of the country across the world. We have been a plural society for thousands of years.